This is six-time IFBB Bikini Pro Champion Brina Martinez, and I take ZMA5 to make sure that I get the zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6 needed to keep my immune system healthy and snap strong.
Marcus Hayes, Fight Hub TV here with Joey Spencer, middleweight contender. How you doing, Joey?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Real good, man. I can't complain, man. For you, it's a big week. Once again, You're at it, right? You're at it.
Yes,
It's a
sir.
fight week, huh?
Mhm.
You got a bout scheduled on Saturday versus Isiah Seldon,
Yep.
son actually of Bruce Seldon.
Yes.
Um, on paper represents a step up, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got
Mm-hmm.
quite a bit more feist than you. I believe he's like 14-3 or somewhere around that
Yes.
area, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. What do you got to say about the bout? Tell me about it.
So he's a little bit naturally bigger. He's got more experience. That's really all I can say. That's different as far as stepping up. He's got a good record and things like that. But I also think that I'm coming into uh, a lot more of my man strength and my maturity as a fighter. And I feel like I progressed a lot in the gym since everything has happened with COVID. I've spent a lot of time in the gym. I'm feeling great. First 8 rounder also for this fight, so that's going to be kind of a new step and a turning of a page, so to say. And yeah, man, I'm ready. I'm excited for it, and I definitely feel prepared.
Excellent. Now, considering the fact that his last four, he's 2-2 in his last four. Your opponent Seldon is actually with 2 KO losses. The most recent KO loss coming in the first round to fellow 160 pounder Nikita Ababiy. Given that you're fighting Seldon, who is a common opponent with Nikita Ababiy, there'll be comparisons regardless,
Yep.
right? There'll be comparisons. So let's just skip the comparisons, beating around the bush. How do you match up versus somebody like Nikita Ababiy?
Oh, my that's definitely a good fight in the future. I think that we'll match up. I think that eventually we'll fight. I'm going to contend at 154. I'm actually moving
Okay.
up to 160 for this fight, particularly for this opponent.
Right on.
So I'll be at 154 before I'm at 160, but eventually we'll be in the same weight class. And I definitely think it's going to be an explosive fight. We got similar styles. We're both very offensive. Have good offensive, tactics and whatnot. And I think that is going to be like a really good fight. And when we come head to head in the future, when we meet up in a certain weight class, and I believe that we will. And that's just one of those fights. People like to talk about the lightweight division, but we've got a lot of good talent in the 154 and 160 pound division. So there's a lot of good young fighters coming up there too. That's going to be a great fight. I definitely think that as far as the Nikita fight goes, obviously I'm confident in myself, and I feel like I'm one of the best of the people that I just named as far as the talent coming up in the division. I think that I'm going to show why I'm different in the next couple of years. I'm going to put the world on notice in these divisions before I do contend for a title. And but as of right now, I'll be at 154. I believe he's at 160. I'll be coming back down my next fight. This was kind of for the specific opponent moving up type thing.
Understood. So as of right now, it's currently Wednesday night, so I'm sure that you're in the bubble. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
What's life been like in the bubble, Joey?
Yeah. So luckily, I just had to kind of enter the bubble today. Last fight that I had in the same hotel, same bubble, everything. I was in it for a full 7 days, so definitely isn't going to be as monotonous or as bad as last time because I'm just ready to make weight, rehydrate, and fight basically in the next few days. So
right, and then with that, I know that there's what kind of facilities are available to you guys? Is this just generally whatever workout facilities that are available at the actual hotel, or do they like clear out 2 or 3 rooms and like put punching bags in there? And what's that like?
Yeah, so we've done some workouts here in the room, and then you get a slot. You get a certain time slot throughout the day. So they have a gym downstairs that they've kind of set up some different equipment. They got a bag down there. They got some treadmills and things like that. So they've just got a few things what you would need, for fight week. So you do get a slot. Mine's 5 o'clock. So on the days that I need it, I go down there and get it, and we have what we need.
And how are you with making weight? Are you close? You about there?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Like I said, I don't have to lose as much weight this fight, so I'm really good, man. Everything's going really well as far as weight cutting, and I feel good. Just got a few more pounds to get off, and I'm good.
Excellent. As far as your opponent goes, your opponent is a fighter that he appears to, when the bout starts, he likes to come out and he'll exchange. Yeah. I mean, this is a guy that will exchange. This is a guy that particularly has firepower on his straight punches. Yes. He has had a suspect chin, but he's got more wins than he does losses. How do you prevent a hiccup with a guy that, let's be frank, everyone, I'm sure, in the greater boxer community, they expect you to get past this guy, but how does Joey Spencer avoid a hiccup on Saturday night?
I just think it's really important not to, like you said, he got dropped by Nikita, but that can't take my mind away from, I can't let myself underestimate him for that reason. I got to expect the best of every fighter that gets in, and this is a big stage. We're fighting on Fox, so I got to expect the best of them. And as long as I'm sharp, then there will be no hiccups. So I got to make sure that, I'm mentally, and, I know I'm physically ready, but I got to make sure I'm mentally ready and don't overlook this guy because, of his loss against, like you said, Nikita. So I just got to make sure that every fighter that I get in there with, I have the same mental mindset, same outlook, and make sure I'm extremely mentally prepared. And I've thought about every situation, and I keep my defense tight. I'm a very good counter puncher, like you said. I mean, like you said, he throws his straight punches, but I'm a good counter puncher, and I feel like I'm going to be able to catch him in between the shots.
So the plan is to throw between the long punches or underneath the long punches to be able to start your offense.
Yeah, that's part of it, but I really believe that I can go out there and do whatever I want to do against this guy and really just paint a good picture for as long as it lasts. I'm not looking to go out there and necessarily beat anybody's time and go out there and get a first-round knockout. Like, that'd be great if it happens, but every fight's different. Every fight plays out different. I'm not in competition with anybody else. I'm going to go out there and put on a dominant performance, and that's all I'm looking to do.
I understand that, man. I follow you on social media.
Yes, sir.
I noticed that, like you said earlier in our conversation, that your training has kind of gone to the next level since COVID has started. You really are starting to appear to mature.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. during COVID, it looks like there's something that has clicked in your mind that said, you know what, man, this is exactly what I want to do, and this is where I want to be. Tell me about what COVID's meant for you as a pro boxer.
Man, that's really funny you say that, because that's exactly what, the conversation's been, just even in my inner team, just talking about just a fire that is lit right now. I'm so hungry. And I definitely feel like I'm coming into a new stage of just focus and just a level that I'm fighting at, level that I'm boxing at, that the fans really haven't gotten to see too much because of that. I lost half my year last year, but it's come such a long way as far as my boxing. And COVID has given me a good chance to do that. I've had a lot of extended time in the gym without necessarily the pressure of a fight looming around the corner. So I'm just boxing. I'm just getting, staying ready, or not even staying ready, but just progressing. But without that on my back, I'm really just enjoying myself more and more. And it's also given me a lot of time to just, outside of a boxing standpoint, me and my wife, we got married last year. And so COVID wasn't all bad from the standpoint of I've been very busy since I turned pro, having a lot of fights per year. And so it was, going to look like that again, the first year we got married, but we really had a lot of time to settle in and not have fights around every corner. So that's been nice too.
Good. man, and congratulations to your wife
Thank you, brother.
and to you.
Thank you.
Huh?
Thank you, brother.
A big move, man.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
looking forward into 2021, is there any name that you can say, hey, you know what? After we run this business on the 30th, I'm looking to add to my resume. I noticed that
Yeah.
I've seen interviews in the past with other fighters at and around your weight class that have mentioned your name. And not many of them were thought-provoking, but however, one stuck out to me, and that
Yes.
was Lorenzo Truck Simpson, who
Yeah.
actually said that, hey, you know what, Joey Spencer and I, we match up well. He's a good fighter. I'm a good fighter. I think that would be a great fight. What do you think about a bout like that in 2021?
Yeah. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it for sure. He's definitely on my list, in the back of my mind, and that's a fight that definitely gets the fire going. We came up in the amateurs together. I'm definitely better than him, and he'll see. Well, everyone will see, and I'm looking forward to getting in the ring with him. I don't know if it'll happen in 2021, maybe 2022. I think that 2022, 21 is the year I'm putting the world on notice. I really want to put the world on notice in 2021. 2022, I want to also have my first 10 rounder in 2021. And in 2022, I want to start adding those names to my list and start, after it's been built up and everything is good, get in the ring with those guys and start to look at being in contention for a title, whoever's got it at that time. But yeah,
Yes.
Truck, we're two explosive young fighters, same as Nikita. But me and Lorenzo, he had some words, I had some words, and
Yes.
he's definitely going to get it.
He's going to get it. And I hear you saying that with a little bit of fire. It sounds like he's gotten under your skin a little bit.
Yeah, it's not under my skin. It's just I feel like Lorenzo, unlike, you're supposed to believe in yourself, but I think that he thinks he's on a level that I don't believe that he's at. I don't think he's on Javante's level. He's from the same camp. I don't think he's on that level. I've always had a lot of praise talking about Javante, but he's not on that level. And just from some first-hand things that I've witnessed in the past. Like I said, we came up in the amateurs together. So I just, I don't think that, I think he kind of had a sheltered amateur career to a degree. We fought, we fought in the amateurs. I had the tape on that. I fought him in his hometown. I definitely thought I won the fight. He got the decision. It was no big deal. We were cool at that point. But, he never fought in the U.S. National championships. He never was on Team USA. He's never on those things. He never fought, the big U.S. national championships. He fought silver gloves a lot in his career, in his amateur career, and I got a chance to see one of those tournaments he fought in, and to say the least, I just wasn't, that impressed. I still am not, just looking at some things he's doing. He had some things to say about some things that about a fight that I had about going to distance with somebody. In a fight that I straight up, I dominated the fight. I went to distance with a guy who had a 13-2 record. He said something on Twitter after the fight. He didn't at me. He didn't tag me. He didn't do any of that stuff. He just said it. I just happened to see it. So when I saw it, I was like, kind of took me off guard because we were cool in the past. And I was like, all right, but it's cool because there's no friends. We're in the same, weight class.
Absolutely.
So, or around the same weight class. So, nothing personal. But then that next weekend he fought a dude with like a 5-20 record. I mean, it was like a really bad record, just a journeyman. He actually lost rounds in that fight. And it was the very next weekend, and he went to distance with him. And I'm like, see, things come around. I dominated my fight. And my guy had a winning record. He was 13-2. This guy was like journeyman of the journeyman, So that was kind of where it all started. So that's when you say I have a little bit of fire when I talk about it. I definitely do. And it excites me. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather have a fight with somebody that there's a little bit of tension with or some competitive tension with than somebody that there's none. It really gets my fire burning when I prepare and think about fights like that.
I can hear it. I definitely can
Yeah.
hear it. And talking about a fighter that can fight with tension, and a guy that can harness tension, the king of your weight class.
Mm-hmm.
Jamel Charlo.
Yes, absolutely.
Jamel Charlo. Do you watch much of Jamel? Have you followed Jamel closely? What do you think about Jamel and his reign at 154 right now?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, right now it's come to the point where there's not really anybody close. Like, you know, he's really cleaned out, you know, the division now that Swift got beat and he moved up. I mean, Jared Hurd, and then he just beat Harrison, who gave him 2 good fights, but he ended up knocking out. J Rock ended up getting beat, and then he beat Rosario. The fight that I was really looking forward to seeing at the top of the division right now was J Rock and Charlo. So yeah, I've followed his career a lot, and I've always, you know, liked watching him and been a fan of his fire, like you said. And like I said, 2021 is the year I put everybody in the division on notice. 2022 is when I want to be fighting for the title wherever they are. I don't know if he'll, you know, that's a long time. I don't know if he'll have moved up to 160 by that. So as far as the very top of the division, it's not like I've got one dude that I think I'm going to fight, because things can change so fast. You know, things can change. And so I'm just keeping my eyes open right now. I'm enjoying it. The division's awesome. And but 2022, I'm going to be looking at whoever's at the top and be preparing to fight that person. But obviously keep, you know, the guys at the top of the division in your mind, because they could also still be there at that time. So for sure, you know, looking forward to getting in there with whoever's got the belts, or if the belts have split up and gotten vacated at that time, picking one up, and then, you know, I want to be undisputed 154 pound champ. That's, you know, a dream of mine, and I've always wanted to be, like, you know, undisputed, not just have one belt, but really go after all of them. So I'm just looking. Things are heating up, and, you know, like I said, I'm coming to a new level where I can start to think about, you know, fights like that and things like that. So looking forward to it.
Absolutely. When you get to a point in boxing when it's time to separate yourself, it seems like you've gotten to a place where you're no longer okay with just coming up with the young crop. You don't seem like you just want to come up with the young crop. You seem like you're kind of ready to shed the persona of just being a young dog and coming up and going to go get it. And I say that to say this: what do you think about a guy like Ryan Garcia, who, like you can see now, he just came off of a 7th round KO, body shot KO over Luke Campbell? What do you think about somebody like Ryan, who's kind of taken his career and really taken off with it?
Yeah, I mean, nothing but respect. You know, I like watching that. It's like you said, you know, that's the type of year I kind of want to begin the shedding process. By the time, you know, 2022, it's the type of year I want to have a fight like he just had towards the beginning of 2022, because then I'll be 22 years old at that time, and I just think that's a good age to kind of take that next step. And seeing him do it is definitely motivating. Seeing Tiafimo do it when he fought Lomachenko is super motivating. And that's the type of things, and just seeing my skill set develop in the gym and just my power coming to another level as I get older is what's making, you know, like we said, you said it, you know, seeing that you felt like I was just, you know, loving what I'm doing more, or like, this is what I want to do. That's the type of things that have been making me feel that way, because I know that I can attain that. I know that with hard work, I can do that. And seeing those guys do it, it's like they're only they're a year ahead of me and 2 years ahead of me. So it's like, it's almost time. It's almost my time. So I'm looking forward to it.
And lastly, what has it meant for you and your dad to be close to Sean Porter and his dad? What does that mean for you guys? How has that helped you grow and develop as a pro?
Yeah, it's great, man. I fought on Sean's card a couple different times. I trained in his gym as an amateur at certain points, and they've been really helpful. And my dad's had conversations since we've turned pro with Kenny about just advice and the way to handle, you know, training, camp, weight cuts, different things like that. Sean's been great and supportive. Every time we fought on the same card, he's been really supportive, and it's just good to have, you know, mentors that have done it or been in it for a long period of time, it just helps. It helps you. It helps you foresee the unknown. It helps you. They've been there, they've done it. They can help you kind of envision it before it happens, if you know what I mean. So it's really good to have people like that. Andre Ward's been another one like that in my career, who since I've been 16, that's been an example for me and has been able to give me good, solid advice and things.
What's your relationship like with Andre Ward?
Yeah, so we I've trained in his gym from the time I was 16 to the time that I turned pro, or no, the time that I was 15 to the time I turned pro. So just being able to be in his camps when he fought Kovalev, and then as he retired and I was still in the gym, it was as I was turning pro, and he was able to, he just kind of took the role of giving me advice and reaching out during training camps, asking how I was doing before fights and things like that. And he still does here and there. We still talk here and there, and it's kind of stayed the same from the point that I've turned pro. It's been good.
Okay, man, excellent. Joey Spencer, 11-0 with 8 KOs, going up against Isiah Seldon on Saturday, January the 30th. You can catch it on Showtime. Joey, we appreciate your time here at Fight Hub TV, man. Thank you, and
I
look forward
appreciate you.
to seeing you grow, brother. Good luck. Stay healthy.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Have a good one.